Hey guys, thought it was time for another Patreon behind the scenes video from me. Well, again, it's not one of those, it's not really behind the scenes video, it's a Patreon vlog video, I suppose. But yeah, we're through the Zen 2 stuff, kind of. I mean, all the major day one stuff's pretty well done at this point, but there's obviously still boatloads of testing. I've got a list this long. I'm not going to be able to do all of it, so I'm trying to prioritize certain things. One of the things I've prioritized is the testing of budget B350 boards. So a few people in the Patreon Discord have asked me to do that. It's a pretty popular thing, it seems like. So yeah, I've done that. I've tested the 3900X, the 3700X, and the 3600X on this board. I've used K-type thermocouples to measure the VRM temps, backside and front side of the board. I've measured power consumption, comparing that with X570. And I've then done some performance benchmarks as well. So pretty interesting. That video, just finished filming it. That's why I'm in my shirt and in the studio. So I just finished filming that video and I'll edit that now and that'll be up tonight. But hopefully I'll get this Patreon vlog out before that because there's not too much work involved in that one. So anyway, I've got that done. Obviously at some point I want to do some memory scaling stuff still. I've got a big 30 game benchmark planned between the 3900X and the 1900K for next week, so I've got to get cracking on that shortly. The 9900K testing's all done. I've done it stock and overclocked, and I'm going to do the same for the 3900X. So anyway, that should be a really awesome comparison. I'm pretty excited to actually get into that one, so that's some benchmarking I want to do. I've got my replacement 3900X, so that's good. That's why I was able to do this video finally. And yeah, I've actually, when I got the 3900X, I ran into well, not a problem, but well, it's good news, I suppose. I've talked about it at the end of this video because it's possibly a mistake I've somehow made. I'm not sure how. I think it's more, there was maybe something wrong with the particular game. But anyway, World War Z, the performance was quite bad or quite underwhelming, let's say, in my day one review. And the 3700X and 3900X from memory weren't much faster than the 2700X. It was basically the same. And that seemed unusual, but then performance in Far Cry wasn't that good either. So I thought maybe in these more memory latency sensitive games that there was still a bit of a problem there for Ryzen. Or maybe it was something to do with the NVIDIA GPU. That's something else I want to look at some point in the future. Anyway, I'll cut a long story short. Apparently, it looks like via the patch notes that last Tuesday, I think it was, they rolled out an update for World War Z. It was like 8 gigabytes in size. It doesn't mention anything to do with performance. I've asked AMD to look into this. Anyway, for whatever reason, I didn't get that patch last week. It's the Epic Store. Bloody rolled it out to me on Monday, so I got that yesterday. So anyway, rolled that out to me, and then I started doing the testing for this video, and I was going to include World War Z in this, but I just did Assassin's Creed and Far Cry because of this issue that I'm talking of. And the Zen processors were like 20 or 30 FPS faster. I'm like, what is going on? And the render scale was set correctly, all the quality settings were correct, I triple checked everything. And yeah, the 3900X is now just a little bit behind the 1900K. So I don't know if there was something wrong with my copy of the game that was affecting Ryzen processors and this patch fixed that, or if there was a performance update and it got patched before people started testing the Ryzen CPUs, but for some reason my patch didn't get rolled out till yesterday. So or the day before. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I've asked AMD to look into it. They're looking into it now to see if their guys know what's going on there. But anyway, I'm going to retest everything. I'll retest first and second gen Ryzen to see if there's any performance uplift for them there. I'll retest the Intel CPUs just to make sure there's no changes there. And then next week, I'll create a video updating those results. But I've tested all the other games, no change at all, exactly the same. There's no frequency issues with my particular board that I use for testing, same as what Steve from Gamers Nexus talked about. So all those numbers are fine. It's just World War Z that has seen a massive performance uplift, and that's fantastic news for Ryzen because that'll bring it a lot closer in the 8 or 9 games I tested. I just wanted to make you guys aware of that. I am working on it, and yeah, I'll solve that as quickly as I can, and hopefully I get some information from AMD so I can draw some kind of conclusion on whether it was something bad with my install of the game or if they did address the issue. What else do I want to talk about? A couple of you guys pointed out a video from, well, it's, what is it, UFD Tech. They have a hot news channel or something. They did a video saying all Ryzen 3000 reviews are wrong, and that was the title. And then the thumbnail was equally unimpressive. And I went and watched the video, and yeah, it was a steaming pile, basically. I was very, very pissed off when I watched it. Basically, they're talking about, so for those of you who don't know, AnandTech they were only given one board from AMD for some reason. We were given two. Most people were, but they only got one board. It was the MSI Godlike, and it had some major problem with, I can't remember. Something was wrong with it. I didn't really read the details, but the board was unusable. So they reached out to MSI. MSI provided the X570 Ace, and they did their testing on that. Turns out MSI rolled out some new BIOSes for that, which we were actually given, but for whatever reason they didn't contact AnandTech correctly or whatever happened there. And they tested with an early BIOS that had some weird clock ramping issues. So they've had to retest all their stuff. They made a tweet about it. Of course, r/AMD Reddit got wind of this and then applied that to all reviews. Poor old Steve from Gamers Nexus was just getting bombarded like we were, but I was expecting there's always the fanboy craziness of, you can get 10% more performance by doing this, you tested wrong, blah, blah, blah. I'm used to all that. I knew it was coming. I said to Tim, you watch, there'll be all this crap come up. And it did. It did from multiple different sources. So anyway, Steve from Gamers Nexus was a bit overwhelmed by all the feedback. If you saw his video, you'll see he was probably losing some of his hair on that one. He didn't take it too well, so he looked into it, tested everything, and found no difference with the various BIOS versions. And I can confirm that. I've tested various BIOS versions as well. It was just this one particular BIOS version for this one particular board that no one else tested that had a bit of a problem. So it's an isolated thing with AnandTech. So that's that. Getting a bit off track, but basically, Brett from Hot News took that as all reviews are wrong, or he tried to spin it that story. It's like mainstream media. They take one bit of bad news and try and turn it into a whole thing. So I made a tweet just saying, sorry, I'm losing my voice a bit from all this video recording I've been doing. I made a tweet just saying, mate, come on. I understand the need for clickbait, but this is too much. This is crap. I didn't say that, but I wanted to. So I just called him out publicly on it. I made a comment on his video, but it didn't come up. Steve from Gamers Nexus had the same thing. He made a comment and it wasn't displayed, so not sure what's going on with that. So we haven't heard from Brett yet. Probably by the time you watch this, he will have woken up and made a response. I'm hoping he just, we call him out on his crap. He goes, yeah, okay, and changes the title and the thumbnail. The damage is sort of done at this point, but yeah, the contents of the video aren't nearly as bad as that horrendous title. And yeah, Steve from Gamers Nexus was massively, massively pissed off when he saw it. I thought I was pretty pissed, but yeah, he was not happy at all. I won't repeat anything he said to me privately. We had a private conversation about it, but yeah, I will say that Steve was not happy at all, and he was tossing up how he wants to address this because it's not on. He's not happy, but I think at the moment he's just going to leave it. Doesn't want to draw any more attention to it. I think he might have made a tweet of his own. He definitely replied to our tweet. I know he left Brett a big long comment, but that isn't appearing on the video just yet. Anyway, didn't want to really cause any drama or make an issue out of it, but when it's just annoying when it's bad enough when the guys on Reddit, just general users, are creating all these stories and misleading information. That's bad enough, but whatever. But when guys in the established tech media go and do stuff like this for views, it's just not on. It's painful, and they know better. So I felt like he had to be called out on that, and I don't regret doing it. It could have been a lot worse if I had made a video on it. Which, Steve from Gamers Nexus was talking about doing as well, but I think he's decided not to. Anyway, that's pretty much that issue there. Nothing more to say on it, really. It sort of goes beyond clickbait for me, because that's, as Steve from Gamers Nexus said in his tweet, replying to my tweet, it's just a lie. It's just a flat-out lie. It's false information. Robert Halleck also jumped in and said pretty much the same thing. It's flat-out false. So it's obviously spreading misleading information, but it's a lie. So clickbait, if it gets you into the video and gets a few more eyeballs in there, but it's what it's advertised to be, then that's fine. That's just a really good thumbnail and title. I know that gets called clickbait, and people, even there was one guy in our Discord chat that was unhappy with the direction our thumbnails have gone in. It's like, you know, we put a lot of time and effort into our content, like a lot. And, you know, we want to get as much attention for that content as we can. Like if I'm going to spend, you know, 2 days just testing this board with the 3rd gen processors, you know, and I want to make sure as many people as possible can see that content. But I mean, I don't know, the thumbnail for this won't be outrageous or anything. Anyway, that's that. What else have we got? I want to do a lot more Navi testing. The AIB cards, hopefully they'll be in next month. So I'll probably save a lot of the big head-to-heads for when we have some AIB models, because, yeah, they're just a lot better. I'm glad we're not stuck with AMD reference cards again on this one. That always sucks. So yeah, I've put in my order for AIB models from MSI and whoever else. So we should be getting those the second they're ready and we're able to review them. And what else? What else have I got to talk about? Tim's got some pretty good content coming up on the channel. He's doing his Radeon image sharpening testing. I think that's what he's mostly been focusing on, but he's also going to be doing the anti-lag stuff. So yeah, he's been busy with that. I'm pretty excited to see his content on that, actually. And then I've got an absolute heap of X570 boards rocking up. MSI, I've sent about 3, so I've got the Ace, I've got, is it down there somewhere? I've got the Gaming Edge, it looks like. Gigabyte has sent their Gaming X version with a few of the mid-tier ones as well. The most high-end one, it was where the ASRock one is, but I think I've put it somewhere else now. But I'm collecting all those. I'm trying to work out how I should handle this, because I suppose people don't really want to wait till September when the 16-core part comes out for me to do my VRM testing. So maybe I'll just have to do VRM thermal testing with the 12-core part, and yeah, maybe go a bit excessive on the voltage for one of the tests. Not sure how I'll handle that, but yeah, let me know if you want to see me just tackle all the X570 boards now with the 12-core part, or should I wait for the 16-core part? Yeah, I've been talking for about 12 minutes now, so I should probably wrap this up. I don't know if there was anything else I wanted to say or talk about. I should have made some notes, but I'm kind of doing this. I'm rushing because I've got to go edit this and get it up for tonight, so I'm kind of under the pump. Anyway, as always, thank you for your support. Love chatting to you guys in the Discord chat, and just keep being awesome. I'll see you later.